this block, you know, it's half carved out on the back side. The back side is a key block, and it's half carved out, which means it's sort of acting as a resonating plate. You know, it's a kind of an instrument. You bang it here, the echo comes all around this room. Where's my glasses? Okay, are we up? It looks like we're up. Good morning, good morning. Okay. What we're going to do, I've been banging actually a little bit here. I want to get the noisy part over before the stream starts. We're going to pick up right where we left off yesterday. Yesterday I roughed out the first group of these black dots. I banged around the outside and I then used my chisels to clear the inside. The dots themselves are not yet carved. Today we're doing the same thing on the other side. And again, before the stream started, I started this to get most of the noisy part roughed out. I'm going to do a bit more noisy work now to clear this away. Then I'll switch to the chisels to clear the inside. And if the pace goes pretty much the same as yesterday, I'll then have time to switch to my knife and actually start carving the dots. So it'll be different tools this morning. And the first 10 or 15 minutes should be a bit more persuading, not too noisy. So just give me a few minutes to get this part done. We're on screen right now. That's the registration marker. Be careful not to chop it off. Been there, done that. Okay, let's switch to a narrow chisel. Another busy day in the shop yesterday. Do I say that every day? I guess recently it's been. It was a Sunday, and I had to actually ask people to leave, be able to close up. It was around 10:50 or something. I was just getting too tired. It wasn't that people were there all the time through, you know. The rest of the staff left around 6 or so, and I just kept it open doing desk work, and people dropped in, people dropped out, people dropped in. Then there was a period from about 9:30 or so when just they would, you know, as one person was ready to leave, just before that somebody else came in, so I couldn't close the shutter. And finally, there were some people browsing, and I just had to say, look, I'm really sorry, but I got to get to bed. When it's dark outside, the shop is so lit up and so what's the word? Attractive in the sense of, attraction. You know what I mean? Like a magnetic attraction. You know? On a dark street. I don't know if you can hear that sound that was there just then. It says it's a phone notification sound. I don't know if you could hear it. It's pretty light. I don't have a phone. It was funny this morning. I know I was in the shower upstairs this morning. I don't know what time, 6:30 or something. I'm in the shower, and I can hear from outside the shower suddenly sort of an alarm sound goes off. And I'm like, I've never heard this before. What's this? Is it the gas? It can't be the gas because we don't have a gas. I'm having a cold shower. So an alarm goes off just outside the shower room. So whatever, I get the water off and get quickly sort of towel and get out there. And I dig around and hear the alarm, follow the alarm sound in my towel. And there's an iPhone on the counter up there. It's where we do the sizing and stuff up there. And I grab this iPhone and it's alarming and I don't know how to unlock it. It's not my phone or whatever. So anyway, touch it and bang it and touch it. And there's something that says snooze. So I snoozed. The alarm came up. It turns out it's Kawaii-san's iPhone. He was working late last night. I did the shop down here from about 6 o'clock. And he went upstairs to do some printing. He's working double shifts. He's working in the shop during the day. And he's working upstairs, not every day, but 3-4 days a week. He's doing printing. He's working on that North Korea image. You know, the one from the old Hasui blocks that somebody found. Anyway, he left his iPhone last night. So he must have gone home. He was pretty tired. So he must have forgotten his iPhone and gone home. Now, he'll be here this morning. He might be late because I don't know what he uses as an alarm to get up when he doesn't have his phone here. But let's play the game on it. When he gets here this morning, Kawaii-san, it'll be whatever, an hour from now at 9, 10 or whatever. I'm going to take the phone here. I'm going to put it under my shelf. And when you're saying hello to Kawaii-san, ask him, where's your phone? Now we can show him. Okay, what's on the stream here? I ignored you guys for the first few minutes here. Okay. I don't catch it all here. Yeah, the wrong time for some people. I'm sorry, you know, I can't adjust the global time system. Will there be a new YouTube video soon? We'll skip that right now on Tuesday. I'm going to do it again Tuesday. I'm going to just let you know what happened last week. I've got all the preparation here, the old block. I've got the old prints. I've got my old diary. I've got all the pieces here in preparation. We're going to try tape 2 of that YouTube video on Tuesday. I'm going to close the door of the shop, of course. I'll do tape 2 on Tuesday. And if things go well, it'll go up on YouTube Tuesday evening Japanese time. Production time is stretched. It's not just that. It's that, you know, there's so many things now. So many things going on here. The shop has exploded for us. Just exploded. Text him and tell him he left his phone in the store. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. He must have discovered it on the train. He's done this before. And what he'll do is he'll maybe 5 minutes after leaving, I'll hear the key in the door. He comes running back in. Gotta find my phone, you know. But this time he must have not discovered it till he was on the train. And once you're on the train, what are you going to do? Just go home, go to bed, and come back in the morning. It's no big deal. Anybody who can't do without his iPhone for that short period of time has got a real problem. So he's okay. So he must have just gone home. So he knows it's here. It's not like it's lost. He's left it in a restaurant somewhere. He'll know where it is. So there's no big deal about it. He just must have shrugged his shoulders. I'll just pick it up in the morning. So. Okay, let's move on here. I'll do a bit more, very, very light tapping here, just for a few minutes to clear off some of these spaces. Then I'll get my ice key chisels going on, and it will be quiet for the rest of the morning. So about 2 or 3 minutes of light tapping, and then we'll pick up the chisels. I think that's all the damage I can do with the big one. Okay, what we'll do is now is we'll zoom in so we can see what's going on. I'll use the scope, so it gives me forces me to stay in the same field of view. So let's find our spot where we can work. Light on. Oops, junk on the desk here. Not junk, excuse me. Let's find our spot. Let's start there. Let's zoom in. We might be right about in the middle. Somewhere in there. Are we focused? I can't see. Looks like it might be okay. Let's do this. Okay, what this is doing. Okay. Again, for those of you who don't know what's going on here, we're going to leave. The idea is to leave all these small black dots. That's going to be the printing surface. So everything else has to be taken away. So I roughed out the other day around the black dots just to separate them from the waste area. I've used the chisel to bring away large areas of waste. Now I'm going to use some smaller chisels to clean up that waste area like this. All roughness has to be taken away, leaving a basically smooth surface like this so that it doesn't pick up pigment at the time of printing. Then when that part of it's done, I'll use a series of smaller chisels to come closer like this. And that leaves then just this last little bit of wood with the dots and all the waste is taken away. So finally, when I get to that point, when all the waste is gone, I will then use this chisel and shape each of the dots. So that's what's going to be happening for the rest of this morning. I'll be switching back and forth between these tools. Too much junk here on the desk. I gotta set me. Excuse me, he's gonna have to move just for a minute there. What did we put on today? I'm missing the one chisel I need here. Where is it? masno. Right, so you can see how this is going to work. We've just got this one little zone here trimmed out. We move ahead to the next. It's going to be the morning's work here, just digging my way around this face of this block. So. There's his phone again, giving me notifications of something. I couldn't really live with one of those things, you know. We chatted about this before, but the idea that you have something in your pocket that is just yelling at you all day long, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me, those notifications. I just really don't want that. I mean, I get it in real life here in the shop. The staff is all day talking to me, Dave, can you do this? Can you check this? Can you tell me what to do with this? Customer say whatever. So I have enough notifications in real life without wanting that thing in my pocket giving me more. You know? These dots that are clusters, they're okay, but the ones that are just a single dot, they're really dangerous because they're easy to pop off. You know. This one, just so easy to put the chisel and away it goes. And it's gone. missing a bunch of this stuff here. Not sure, I don't see any specific questions I can catch here. You guys are talking. Talking about cherrywood, you know, I got an interesting box package arrived. Actually, it arrived in our Ome workshop a couple of months back. And when I was in Ome on Friday, I got a chance to see it. It's a box of cherrywood. What they are is they're used blocks that have been carved on both sides. They were used to make some kind of fan prints back in Kyoto. Maybe, I think it's post-war, the blocks don't look that old. So it's about 10, 12, 13 pieces of wood. The friend of mine, Richard Steiner, lives in Kyoto, and he had turned these up somewhere, and they weren't of any use to him. So he asked me if they were okay, send them over. So I saw them in the Ome workshop the other day, and yeah, we're going to use these. We are going to, what we do is, if you've got a wood block, do I have a sample of a block? Here we go. Piece of wood here somewhere. Okay. This is a wood block. It's carved one side, it's partly carved the other side. Imagine this is a wood block that was used many years ago. It's a solid block. It's not one of the modern plywood blocks. It's a solid block. It's carved down. Usually the blocks are about 23 millimeters thick. 2.3 centimeters thick is a sort of goal size for most blocks in the recent eras. And when we carve down to about 5 millimeters. So that means there's a core of wood in the middle there of about 12 millimeters that hasn't been touched, generally. Sometimes it's deeper, sometimes it's shallower, you can't tell. So what we tried doing, I got a bunch of blocks a while ago, and Aoyama side upstairs, we're trying this right now as I speak. A couple of weeks ago, we don't have a bandsaw here, but we tried to cut the blocks we have right down the middle. And what we did was we used a skill saw to go in this way, and flipped it over, and a skill saw to go in this way, and then we just took a saw and chuck, cut out the middle bit. So that takes this old block and now puts it in two halves. We haven't planed it off yet. We've still got the old carving still left on it, and we cut it in two halves. And what we then do is we get one of our new plywood cores, we put glue on, and we bond it. So we now have a block that is really quite too thick. It's got the 10 millimeter plywood core, and then it's got about 10 and 10, so it's about 30. And what we do, of course, then is now it goes through the planer to take off the old carved surface on both front and back. That cuts it down about 5 millimeters from the top, 5 millimeters from the bottom. And we don't keep going till every last place is carved out, is planed off, because that would end up with the block being too thin. You get what I'm getting at? If we kept planing and planing to the deepest part of the deepest ocean that had been carved on the block, we lose too much wood. And the reason we can leave them like that with some shallow parts on there is because every time we're using a piece of wood like this, you can see there's areas that don't get used. You know, this area didn't get used. Where am I here? This. So if it had turned out that when I was preparing this block, if there had been a defect in this area, if it was too shallow or something like that, or a knot, it's okay. We just plan it and figure out where to use that particular piece of wood. So these new blocks we're making don't all have to be perfect. If you're buying from a block supplier, it's a block business, they have to supply you with, of course, perfect blocks that are all across the top. But we don't need that perfection because we can pick and choose and pick and choose and pick and choose. What we do need is a good selection, a good variety of blocks, so we have the option to pick and choose. So anyway, so this is plan B for us. We're buying new wood where we can find it, laminating it and using it, which is what this block is that I'm using now. And then we're also, as much as possible, sourcing old wood from early Showa or Taisho or Meiji even. If we got some old block in our hands that was just so beautiful and rare, it would be criminal to plane it off. And of course, what we're doing is we're looking at these blocks one by one. For example, whatever. This is a block that's going to be featured in the upcoming video that's coming up. This is a block from a Hiroshige Tokaido series print made in about the Taisho era. And if I got this in my hands and decided to plane it off to use the wood again, that would be absolutely criminal. So we're not doing anything like that. We're just taking blocks that have no value whatsoever to anybody, either for archival value or research value or anything. We're just taking the generic, dummy, useless pieces of wood that were made to make some color block on a fan print and planing those down to use it again. I see some questions or whatever coming up here. Yeah, the making of the block is not so difficult. It's sourcing the wood. Exactly. And then, so somebody's pointing out these old blocks, these have been really aged very nicely. And that's not always a benefit, because at some point when wood gets too old, it does. It loses, the cell structure starts to get too weak, and it really doesn't work very well. Even if I had some magical block from 200 years ago here, it wouldn't be usable, because by then it's something in the cell structure. It just collapses and the wood just doesn't have any body yet. John's asking, and Aoyama-san has tried this with a couple of blocks upstairs. What he has done is he's cut it in half. Then he tried gluing down the cut side onto the plywood. And I'm telling him, don't do this, please. He's saying, it's okay, that leaves us with a nice smooth flat side. The problem is, once you start doing this now, you're carving out areas. If I go down into the area which was one of those cavities from the back, I'm going to hit epoxy. And I do not want to be messing around, banging and scraping and cutting epoxy wood with my chisels. So you don't know where you're going to be carving. So no, it's not a solution. We can't do that. You've got to put the flat side down, plane down till you get nearly flat, and you've got nothing left but wood. You'll never see me when I'm doing this. You'll never see me go through this layer. I've got a 5mm layer on top, bonded with epoxy down to the base. You'll never see me go through. It totally destroys the edges of the chisels. John says, gotcha. As Dave mentioned, when he thinks pre-orders for the Octopus Print will start. It's going to start when I get down to the last 1 or 2 color blocks. It's still too early. There are still so many distractions. I'm sorry. And I'm chronically underestimating. If I said, yeah, it'll be ready next month, then we know it's going to be 6 months at least. So it's useless for me to say something at this point. I'm sorry. Anyway, I'm talking a bit too much and working a bit not too much. So let me just keep going here. Okay, this is the last one. 2, 3, let's get this. The wood grain is really against me here. That's the registration marker. It is going to be stinky hot again today. It's like, what is it now? It's 8:30 or something here. The air conditioner's already on, and yet it's already stinky hot. We don't want to crank that thing up too much. I'm not sure. Today's Monday here in Sussex. It might be a pretty quiet day. The weekend was nuts. I don't mean just been in our store, but the district in general. As I mentioned yesterday in the stream, it's sort of holiday season here in Japan. It's coming to the Obon mid-August time. And company employees who do get a chance to take vacations quite often take them in this time, middle of August. So there's a lot of people going overseas at this time of year, but the ones that can't go overseas or can't afford it or don't want to, they're vacationing within Japan, down to Okinawa or somewhere, whatever. And the ones that can't or don't want to do that, they vacation around Tokyo. And when you're looking for something to do in Tokyo, quite often, Asakusa is one of the places people end up. So the streets, it's just a bustling neighborhood. We had a bit of problem yesterday around noon, around from 11 o'clock till around, I don't know, 1 or 2 in the afternoon. I don't know exactly what time it was. The kimono rental shop next door was going insane. they normally do online reservations. People reserve online or part of a tour group or whatever to have their kimono rental package ready. And if people come and say, 10 o'clock or whatever, 10:05, they've reserved a specific time. They come in, choose a kimono off the rack, go upstairs, get changed, and out they go prancing around Asakusa. But on the weekends recently, there's a lot of drop-in traffic. You'll get a young Japanese couple, he and she must have suggested to him, let's go to Asakusa. And when they get here, she says, oh, I know, let's rent kimonos and walk around, And the boy's going to say, right, no thank you. Hey, Cameron's here, hello.
I like that.
Anyway, yeah, looks good, doesn't it? So. So the point being, there's a lot of people there without reservations, and there were so many yesterday lining up without reservations. They blocked the front of the kimono shop, they blocked the front of our shop, and they blocked the front of the kaki restaurant next door. Lined up for the kimono shop. For the kimono shop, not for Tenkoku. That was okay. And this is around 11 o'clock or so. So people without reservations are just lining up. And I go out there, and I can't do traffic control for the shop next door.
Right.
But I'm like, look, this is not acceptable.
Yeah,
so at first I tried to break it. Look, you guys wait over there. When the line gets short across my property, don't stand in front of my property. And the first 6 people I talked to did that. But then I come back inside. But then the next 6 people haven't heard me, and bang, up it comes again.
Yeah.
So I tried again. I tried to move the rope. Look, here, double back over here, come and wait over here, blah, 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 blah. And again, it worked for about 10, 15 minutes until it runs out. You need a person out there or a sign, wait here, blah, 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 blah. So I go in the kimono shop to try and hey, guys. And
you're stopping customers from getting...
But they can't. The girls are just going crazy. They're just employees. There's no good...
Because they have fault as customers.
Yeah. So there's nothing for me to do. So we try just every 5 minutes, out we go to try and do our traffic control.
Yeah. While you're waiting, come on in.
Whatever. And then it tapered off. Around 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, it tapered off. So
that's good.
And today, when I get a minute, I'm going to go there and chat with them. Not to yell at them, because the girls, it's not their fault.
No.
Nothing to do with that. No.
But what can we do to make this line
their boss needs to hire a guard man or something to run the line on busy weekends. Other restaurants do it, or like Krispy Kreme Donuts has 3 guys with their flags and caps and whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, Cameron's here. You want to take over this thing? Turn it in your direction? So.
No feet today under this?
No, I forgot. Look at that. I absolutely forgot. How is the CPU usage? Is it burned up or something?
No, 14%.
So it seems we're okay. Maybe
it doesn't even feel too hot right now.
Because the problem is when we did this upstairs in the 30 degrees, there's an air conditioner on here.
Yeah.
Which we put them under? Sure. So it seems we're probably okay in this environment.
Haircut looks nice.
You're just saying that.
Yeah.
It's a lot lighter, I tell you.
Yeah, I'm sure.
There's all kinds of jokes. Who's this? Who's sitting in for Dave and all that kind of stuff. Blah, blah, blah. For those of you who don't know, this is Cameron San, one of our employees here.
Good morning. We've been here.
He acts as a wingman for these streams now and then. So there seems to be lots of new faces frequent all over the place.
Yeah, some names I don't recognize.
And something else, just so you know, just so you're in on the thing here. Kawai-san's coming today.
Oh.
And when I was up in the shower this morning, I'm in the shower. Just after I get the water going, bang, an alarm starts ringing. And I'm like, what do you mean? There's no gas.
I didn't.
What? It's Kawai-san's phone. It was sitting on the counter out there where we do the sizing.
I did that 6 months ago one time, but he did it too.
But his alarm goes off just after I get wet in the shower. So whatever. So I come out and I turn it off. You can turn it off without knowing the password. It said sleep. It said snooze first, and then it said off. So it's here. Now he must know it's here because he may think, did I leave it in a restaurant, did I leave it on the train, or did I leave it here? He's probably going to guess that it's here, so it's no big deal. But I thought, when he comes in, he's going to say hello to the stream. And the stream can tell him, Kawai-san, where's your phone? Or something like this, or whatever.
Get over that 6 spell, Cam. Yep, I'm finally feeling better. So, you've printed this is not the one that you were just most recently tracing. That was the black hair and everything.
This is the black hair one. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Got
it. Okay.
But what I've done is I've traced 3 or 4 together, and I will now. I've got enough work to do now without going back to the iPad for quite a bit of time.
Cool. That's great.
In fact, I may not. The iPad part of it may be finished. I think I'll go. I'm not quite sure.
Probably have all the blacks
traced. Yeah. So we're finally getting closer, bit by bit by bit. The weekend was, in a word, BUSY. busy.
Yeah.
I had to ask people to leave last night to get out of here. If you look at the transactions, the last one's gonna be like 9:52 or something.
It's like, guys, I need to go to bed.
I had to say, I had exactly said, guys, I'm sorry, I gotta go to bed. Exactly. What it wasn't people all the time. It was quiet for a while around 6:30 or 7, and then somebody came in, and then they overlapped. Before they left, the next person came in, and before they left, the next person came in, stuff like that. And it was a chain of people coming in. And they were fun. They were all fun. There was a couple of guys, and actually they were the last sale there on the register. I was sitting at the computer here, and the front glass, they're outside talking, and maybe they don't realize I can hear them. The front window glass is actually quite thin, so I can hear quite clearly what they're saying. And it's, this is that guy, He says, what do you mean, what guy? He says, no, you know, we saw it years ago on Reddit. And they're chatting about nuclear heroes. He says, this has got to be the place. And one guy's sort of super hip and excited. The other guy's like, what are you talking about? Whatever, what's going on? Anyway, the enthusiastic guy convinced his friend, let's just go and look around. Oh, I don't know. And they come in. And they realize this is the place, and we start chatting, this and that, have a real good conversation. And the gentleman who's in the know starts explaining, look, grab this, here, this is, and he grabs one of the game prints and shows his friend. And his friend goes, you gotta be kidding me, what is this? I'm not in a dumb way, but just whatever. So the guy who knows is introducing his friend who doesn't know. And I'm just sitting here like looking at my newspaper and doing things, whatever. And friend A is busy selling friend B on some prints.
That's so funny.
And they both buy, so one got Shiba-san's print and away they went.
Great.
It was good fun.
That's so funny. She'll be happy to hear that.
Yeah, so 2 yesterday. In fact, now we're out. She's not happy because we're now out.
Oh.
And she said it won't be any more till late October.
Right. She's finally going to finish up the new design. Is that right?
It's her call,
It's her call, yeah. Someone needs to text Kawai-san with a phone message saying he's won 100,000 yen, but you must call back before 8 a.m. this morning.
Like he's going to see the text message with his phone sitting here. Unfortunately, there's a flaw in that little thing.
No, that's the plan. It says call back before 8 a.m.
Oh, I see. So you'll see it later, you mean. I get you. Okay. All right. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, I get the idea. Right.
Kantar says, speaking of Shiba-san, has she followed through with allowing you to print them?
No, I don't. Because I only see her once a week. This is the deal. When she and I were talking about it, was it last Wednesday or the Wednesday before that? I don't remember.
2 Wednesdays.
2 Wednesdays ago. And it really needs me, when she's here next Wednesday, it needs me now to just nail this down. Okay, Shiba-san, give me the blocks. No, I mean right now, give me the blocks. Turn them over and give me a sample print, one that you consider to be, go back to your files, give me the sample, good best. And then when we do this, whether it's Suga-san or Kanai-san or Ayumi-san or whatever, you hang around, you can check off and sign us off. No, okay, we'll do this properly, of course. And at some point you sign off on a master copy, we put our initials on it, and that's it. Then you just get out of our life. No, really, you get out of here and we will keep making prints. Yeah. And actually the probably will need to be signed by her anyway, so she will see each one after any given batch of prints is made under this new scheme that I'm proposing. When they're made, the same as with Jen, the prints will go to her in a batch, and she has the call, of course, no, yes, no. If she feels that there's something not quite good enough, I doubt that will be the problem, because the printers we are going to use for this are a bit more competent than Shiba-san. Shiba-san's a woman of many skills, but she's not just a professional printer. So I think we can make prints that actually, without being snide here, are probably better than the one she's producing herself. Technically more better. Yeah. Technically better. So it's up to me now just to nail her down on this and finally get moving on, because she cracked last Wednesday. Give me the blocks. So we'll write you a check. We'll start writing you checks.
Yeah.
It's the only way to move forward. It honors both of what's happening. Her desire, the desire to get the thing into people's hands. There was one the other day, one of the people who bought it in the shop, I think I probably pressed her to do this. This woman posted it on the Acolytes page, her new Shiba print that she got, posted a picture of it. So I sent the image to Shiba-san, or I sent the link to Shiba-san, but she couldn't access it because it's a closed group.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
So no problem. Next Wednesday she'll see it when she's here.
Yeah.
Also, there was something, I haven't followed up with this yet. Something happened on the Acolyte page over the weekend. I saw a post at the front of it that said, some kind of administration message that said there's been some problem in the group and that somebody's been banned or something. I didn't
Oh
actually
no,
follow through.
I didn't
No, I didn't
see that either.
So I don't know what's going on in the background, but something's happened somewhere that somebody seems to have been banned from it. But I have no idea why or what's going on.
It wasn't too much trouble. John Becker is mentioning looking into getting a compressor or limiter for the microphone again.
Well, the microphone's out there. It's not near me. It's not near you. It's not near the chisel.
Yeah, turn it down a bit, but it says
right
keeps
there.
the louds from getting so loud that they're blowing out the
Are
ears.
talking loud or?
Yeah, I wonder.
There's no chisel here. I mean, there's no hand going on here.
Gami says it was just a jerk that was banned, so no problem. But then Ken Howard says someone was banned, but someone's baby pictures also showed up.
Yeah, my mom,
Thanks, Mumble.
So, actually, I meant to ask about that. Is she here today? Is my mother posting, or can somebody let me know? Is my mother on the chat here today? Yeah. Because if she is, I have something to show you. She posted a picture about me the other day, so it's time for me to get one back. He.
John Becker says she's here.
She's here. Mom, say hello.
Join us. She is omnipresent. She's everywhere.
My mother is watching everywhere.
Yeah. So if you're getting her back, does that mean you have pictures of baby Mrs. Bull?
No, I wouldn't do that to her. She, I mean, you have to treat your mother with a certain level of respect, right?
Yeah,
So I don't think she'd appreciate it. Actually, she probably wouldn't mind baby pictures of her as long as I didn't post pictures of her today. She's not, she's a little bit older than me. She's probably not so happy about that. Anyway, let's do this. I've got some pictures. I've got 3 or 4 pictures. This is not a great long slideshow. Leave it there.
Okay.
I know. Are we audible here? Yeah.
Yep,
What we do, if you go into the pictures, I got 3 or 4 pictures here. My mother posted a baby picture about me, and what I've got are some pictures taken about, I think this is about 15 years ago, when she was quite active knitting. Because the reason they were on the Acolytes page, they posted a picture of me in a sweater, and somebody asked, is that handmade sweater or shop? And my mother said, of course she makes it. She all her life, she made many of our clothes, many of our sweaters. So knitting was a really big deal for her all her life. Recently, her eyes, I think, at her age now, are giving her some trouble. So she probably doesn't do too much knitting these days. I'm not quite sure. She can tell us herself. But I've got a picture from about 10 years ago or 15 years ago. If you pop it up, it's the construction one. I put it in the same folder that we put the construction pictures. So pop this up. Here, bingo. And here we go. And it's my mother, as I said, about 15 years ago at some kind of community charity event. I guess it's probably gifts for children who don't have parents, or the fire department collects stuff for kids' toys for Christmas. I don't know the background of it. So what you do is you put your stuff on a table, people buy it, and then go and put it in the donation box.
Yeah.
And then, of course, she herself also donates a bunch of stuff like that.
Right.
So I don't know the exact details of what particular event it was. And what you're seeing is
the clothes?
she buys. What she did is she did it through me first. We contacted some company in Hong Kong years ago, and she got a bunch of basic plastic dolls, a box of 100 of them or something.
Oh, wow.
And they ended up, as I said, nearly all going to donations in Africa or children's this or children's that, whatever. And she made, for each and every one of these dolls, she made custom outfits. And I think if you go to the next picture, it zooms in a bit. And here's some more examples of it. And she doesn't work from commercial patterns. She just sits there, makes a couple of notes on a scrap of paper, and just goes for it. And she's got so much experience and so much inventive imagination to do these things. And she makes custom clothes for each one of these dolls.
Wow.
And what she did for my kids, when my kids were doll playing age, she got actually a couple of quite expensive dolls. It was some French porcelain doll or something. I don't know the background details of this. And then she made a total series of outfits. There was a ball gown, there was a beach outfit, there was a around town dress, there was a jumpsuit, whatever, for each of these dolls. And my kids are just, oh my God, what do I do with all these things? It was incredible. It was overwhelming.
Wow.
Absolutely overwhelming here.
Any other pictures too?
Yeah, I think there's 4 pictures altogether. If you go and listen, let me another one. So.
Closer up.
Yeah, and it just didn't stop. And she would never do the same one twice. And she also worked with like little scraps of leftover wool or whatever that are left over from other projects. So you see lots of mix and matches, green and orange and whatever. And if a piece of clothing took a bit more, you just tie another piece of wool on and go for it, make it into your pattern.
Yeah.
And she was so good at this. As I said, right now these days, I don't think she's doing it now because her eyes are just not allowing her to do this knitting close up.
Yeah.
Is she here? She said hello yet or not?
She hasn't said anything
Really?
yet.
Hey, Mom, say hello. Come on. Are people commenting about stuff? I can't see.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, so cute, lovely, so sweet.
Yeah. I think there's one more picture in the 4. I think there's 4 altogether here. I put it. It's back to the first thing a bit close up. There was another thing she did for my kids, and we've still got them. They're in a box, of course, here. My kids didn't take them with them. They've left them here as a keepsake. My mother knit a couple of dolls. There was a granddad and a grandma shape. So the doll itself is a knitted shape with stuff stuffed inside it. And then the clothes are knitted onto the outside of this. So the whole thing is a knitting creation of dolls. And she did these in different sizes. My kids have a double set, a small pair of dolls with a bajillion clothes, and then a larger pair of dolls, which was more of a sort of presentation, the porcelain dolls that we're looking at. And I think some years ago we were sort of trying to, Mom, let's make a web page and let's talk about this. But she didn't want to do it as a business and a commercial thing, taking orders and churning them out. She just enjoyed doing it. And of course helping, and so many of her things went to charity stuff.
Yeah.
Just endless. She wouldn't be able to count how many toys and dolls and little things have gone through the different pipelines, like I said, through the fireman's office or directly to Africa, all the different things she's done. I don't even know a tenth of it.
Yeah. So here's a question. Oh, I want to see more of Dave's baby pictures, if there are any of him wearing outfits like these. Did she make clothes for adults as well? Or not adults, but I guess for children, or was it mostly for adults?
Good question. I don't know. I was there, but I don't remember what I was doing. You'll have to ask her about these pictures because I don't have most of them. And the earliest baby picture of me is like a little X months old thing in a pram. And back in Britain in those days, baby clothes were simply, it was what we would call a frock. It was sort of a little dress type thing. So my earliest picture actually is Dave lying there in his pram in a dress. Not to be snide about this, but that was the common thing for babies in that era. You just lift the dress up, change the diaper, and whatever back it goes. You didn't actually have clothes that slipped on like pants and stuff. Yeah. So she's got some pictures of me that might be quite embarrassing. Dave in his first dress, first and last dress, whatever. The 1950s Britain were what they were, So. And it's up to you, whatever. I'll get back to my work here. I thought I'd like to show her. She shows a picture about me. So.
Does the Ukiyo-e Heroes video have your mother speaking in it, in the outtakes? Did they ever interview your mom?
That's a good question. I know the Hollywood people that came did. They went over there. They interviewed our whole family. They interviewed my kids, my mom and my dad.
Really?
I don't remember what's in the video. Maybe I've only seen the documentary just once, quickly at the film festival. I don't have a copy myself. But yes, it is possible. My mother and father are in there in a short couple of things. I don't remember. I don't know. When they were here in Japan, they came over for exhibitions now and then in the old days when they could still travel.
Yeah.
And they're on some of the TV programs I've got here that we're setting up for the NHK was going to give a 30-minute documentary. And it was based around me setting up the exhibition. So the documentary was there. My dad's hanging stuff on the walls. Yeah. And one of the TV people, they were asking him, what do you do? What do you do? He says, I'm a professional sax player. So they went out, rented or bought a sax, brought it back, stuck it in his face and said, play it for us. And this is just like some rented sax with some rented mouthpiece, and it's not his, but he's a pro. He grabs it and says, all right, let's go. So that
can make it
program,
sound good.
that documentary program about me ends in the gallery. We're ready for tomorrow's exhibition. There we are. We're all standing looking at the lights. Gradually goes down. Little spotlight, one of the roof lights goes on Dad. He's got the sax. And because of copyright restrictions, he's not allowed to play a song that's identifiable, because then they have to go and get permission to play this on the news with it. So they just said ad lib, but don't play anything recognizable.
Yeah.
Or whatever. He's a pro. He just said, okay, go for it. So he just noodles around on the sax for a while. And it's okay, but it makes him look a bit silly. Like he's sort of noodling aimlessly. But that's what they told him to do, noodle aimlessly, and don't you dare play anything that we can tell what it is.
So, I want to pay for it.
So because they couldn't pay for it, though. So.
It's so funny.
He was a fun guy, I really liked him. He was a fun guy.
Yeah. Oh, apparently the Art of the Game, the Ukiyo-e Heroes documentary on the DVD version has special features with outtakes with your family. Family, but it's not available on any of the digital ones.
Okay, well, whatever. Maybe one day, finally, somewhere, I'll be able to get a chance to see that. I don't know.
Wow.
I've given up asking the guy, because every time I ask him, he just says, no, Dave, I can't do that. I can't do that. And he gives a different excuse each time. He doesn't. It's rights and stuff like this. I don't have the rights. We can't allow it. We can't race that in Japan. Whatever. It's okay. Every day, without exception, every day, people are coming in here who have seen that on the airplanes.
Yeah.
Yesterday, there was a good one. In fact, one that is going to be gigantic. 3 ladies came in here yesterday. I guess I can tell it's not privacy. One of them is a curator at a new museum in Hong Kong. It's something to do with M Plus or something. She left me her card. There's some new gigantic public museum / culture center / arts preservation. I don't really know what it was, because I went to bed shortly after she was here. And she had seen the documentary on Cathay Pacific yesterday on the way coming to Japan.
Wow.
And she said, oh my God, I've got to go and talk to this guy. So she came over here last night with her 2 friends. They themselves, all of them, bought a bunch of prints. And she said, how can I get these in our collection in the museum in Hong Kong? At which point I put it over to Jed, because Jed handles that sort of stuff.
Right.
So there we are. It looks like our prints are going into a new museum collection because of that documentary. So it's easy for me to pick at the guy and say he's a cheapskate and won't give me a copy of the DVD or whatever. But I don't care, because the work they did, the exposure they've given us with that documentary has been it's the gift that just keeps on giving.
Yeah. Oh, your mother joined us.
Is she?
She said, a kind gentleman in China sent me $50 as a gift. I made 3 outfits for each one, and away they went to children hoping for a Christmas gift.
Bingo, there you go.
That's great.
Great. So what, it was a doll company who donated to the cause. Very nice. Very nice.
So great.
When was that, Mom? How many years ago was that? The pictures I just showed, can you give us a hint about when they were? It doesn't matter if you don't remember, but just...
They're recognizing how much effort that must have taken. So 150 outfits for charity. That must have been so many hours of work. Just wow. To your mother.
Yeah, that's the kind of lady she is. So. That's sort of, without being sarcastic, that's sort of an easy thing to do, to sit knitting and handing it out to charity. My mother, when she was younger, did things that required much more effort and financial involvement and emotional involvement to help people that were in need. She won't want me to talk about some of this stuff on the stream, and I won't, but she's done some special things.
She says, it wasn't work, just fun.
It's your attitude, right, obviously. So. But when my parents were younger, when we were a family, they did some amazing things to help some other families. Just incredible. I just can't talk too much about it.
quoted got me observed that your mother said the same thing you often say about your work, that it's not work, it's fun, it's what you enjoy and what you want to do.
I think so. I mean, that's what I said. It's attitude, you know. I know what something is or means or does. It's all in what you decide to make it mean, you know.
Yeah.
To some people, what I'm doing now would be just boring drudgery. To me, I'm just sitting here peacefully. I can't say it's fun. That's not the right word to use for it, but it's completely satisfying work. And you know that at the end, not at the end of the day, but what's the expression, you know, that at one point, after enough days of doing this, there's going to be something really neat and spectacular that's going to come out of it. So even if you were flagging, oh my God, can I still do this? Can I still do this? There's a goal there that makes it worthwhile. You know?
Yeah.
So, and in the case of her knitting, she's doing peaceful knitting. Perhaps she's even watching TV or listening to the radio or chatting with her friends while she's doing it, maybe, or just peacefully sitting by herself. But even if she had felt for a moment that this is drudgery, the idea that at the end of the day, that some kid who she doesn't even know, but it doesn't matter, their eyes are going to just go so wide. Oh my God, you know. And those kind of dolls, those are things that I think for the most part would be really quite treasured. You know, nobody's going to treat them, abuse them, and throw them away and toss them around, you know, because they're so unusual, custom. So, well, I don't know. That, you know, it might have just gone to some kid in Africa, and it's going to get taken away from them and sold, and you know, who knows? Whatever. You don't know. You don't focus on that. Yeah. You just focus on the good part.
Yeah.
Just decent people, normal people doing decent stuff, you know.
It's still dark out. It's so cloudy today.
Gloomy, yeah. Hot and close. So.
Yes.
Typhoon number 14 luckily isn't headed this way. So. Has 15 started yet? I haven't seen it.
I'm not sure. I usually just let the weather be a surprise every day. Nothing I could do to stop the typhoon. But I guess you could do things to prepare for it.
That's true. Take your bike to the station or not.
Yeah. That's true.
You're looking a bit tired there, are you okay?
Yeah, I think I'm just always tired. No. I don't know why.
Is that a reflection of what kind of job you've got? Wait.
No,
I've got an excuse. What's your excuse?
A baby. No.
I don't know. That kid now is, what's the age now?
Now he's actually sleeping quite well. He's
So it shouldn't be
a bit over a year and a half.
Any problems now?
On
think. Yeah, I think without being sarcastic, I think so.
Yeah.
There's good management, and there's people let the baby take over.
Yeah.
Like many Japanese do. And if you let the kid take over, your life can be hell.
Yeah. No,
you don't have to be abusive.
He sleeps very nicely.
Yeah.
Fine.
Absolutely. By this stage now, I think the parents should be the boss.
Yeah.
You know, and if family is having trouble because of baby management, you've got to think about how to organize things a bit better. Because the kid by that point is at an age where it really actually needs to be controlled and kept within good, nice boundaries to grow safely.
Yep.
But I see people outside here. My God, the other day. It was a group of people. I think they were Chinese. It might have been Taiwan. I don't know. Whatever. They came out of the hotel across the street in the morning, and they slept there. They were ready for their day's adventure in Sensoji, you know. And it's whatever, 3 or 4 people, maybe a couple with her mother perhaps, or his mother, grandmother, and a kid in a stroller. The kid's about 2.5, whatever. Whatever way you go, get everything. The kid decides the kid wants to go right out towards the main road, and the family wants to go left towards Sensoji. And the family ended up going the kid's way. They're following the kid down the street. The kid is deciding where to go in the hot sun, and I couldn't believe what I was watching. They let the kid decide the day's itinerary based on what the kid is just, I want to go this way. And I was just flabbergasted, you know, you can't do that, you know. Whatever, I don't even get in trouble, but I'll just keep quiet. You don't have to be an abusive parent to be able to manage a family properly, because you know, a kid at 2 years old is not yet ready to manage the daily activities of a family on vacation.
I think not.
I guess what it is, some people just don't say no to their children because you know you want children to be happy and that sort of stuff. But that way lies disaster.
Careful, Dave. That kid is coming back for a print party with you today. Guess who said that? Ken.
We had a funny one yesterday. This is not a nasty story at all. There was another. We don't get too many Chinese people in here actually, but now that we're down on the street level, we're getting more people who wander by. And because there's so many Chinese tourists in this district, we are seeing more and more Chinese people now that we didn't see before because they didn't know about us. Google is not, you know, that widespread in China, or not even there at all, whatever. So, and a pleasant couple came in and said, they're a pleasant couple, about late 20s, whatever, with a young girl dressed in kimono. They'd been to the kimono rental place. The adults didn't have it, the little girl had it. And they came and looked around. They saw there was a print party going on at that moment. So they saw the idea of a print party. So they came to the counter and asked us, you know, and they couldn't speak any English at all. I mean, absolutely rock bottom zero. And my knowledge of Chinese is, of course, totally zero. So it's just gestures and gestures. You know? And we're laughing at each other's gestures. You know? And they're trying to figure out, what is this? How do we do this? Can we sign up? Is she too young or whatever, you know? And she really was sort of too young. She couldn't even reach the counter here. So she wouldn't really practically be able to do a print party. But her eyes are bright, and she'd seen the people doing this, and she wants to do this. And we're booked out. There's maybe room for two more people in the 4 o'clock party. So it might have been theoretically possible to put it in here. But she was really too young. But the other side of this is her eyes were bright and she wants to do this. And I'm like, who am I going to say to this little girl, go away, we can't do this, you know? And there was no way to explain to them the details of about how to do this. So it's sort of sticky, you know? I'm trying to do gestures with the father. I'm trying to be positive about this, but it's not going to be easy, you know? And then during the conversation, it goes on for 3, 4, 5 minutes. We go to look at the party, we come back out, we talk about this, you know? And then the little girl just speaks up and says, I can do it. She can understand English. She's whatever from watching her kids' TV programs or something. And the mother looks at her like,
you speak English?
What's this? The kid said, I can do this. I forget the exact words. I do it. I can do it. Or something like this. It wasn't perfect English.
Right.
And she flabbergasted all of us. Just flabbergasted. I don't know if she can speak it, but the mother went nuts, you know. So I guess what they've been doing is they've been parking her in front of TV programs, or she's got an iPad with English games or something. I don't know what people do with their little kids, you know. But because the parents can't speak any English, there's never been any communication between them. And the little girl has never had a chance to actually talk to foreigners. And here she was in a situation where, she just like
did it.
She didn't come up that counter. So what height is she? You know, 5 years old or something. But the thing then is, I know there really wasn't any way to make this happen because there was 3 adults coming for the next one. So, and they ended up leaving. But they left happily because they get here on the way to go out, and then they start bending down and talk to her, you know, to try and drill her. What English do you know and stuff like this. So it's
got
really
a secret bilingual
because at that point I would have said, look, come back at 6:30 when we're closed, and we'll just play together or whatever. But I wasn't able to explain this to the guy, you know, and the girl couldn't speak that much English that I could negotiate with her, you know. So I really felt sad about it. I would have loved to give her a session. Just, you know, forget about the money. Who cares? Let's just do this thing, you know. But we weren't able to communicate that well enough. I'm sorry. You know, I'll never forget that mother's face. You know.
Shocked.
You know, and the girl was so cute. Her voice was just so perfectly cute. You know, just dripped in cute. Capital C-U-T-E. You know. Who cares about the money? Let's just get in that room. You know? If it had been better timing, if the room had been empty, we would have just dragged him in there. Let's do it. Who cares? You know? But it was in the middle of it. Chaotic, busy after. So you win some and you lose some.
Kawaii-san's here. Speak up as well.
Let's leave it to the stream to tell him. he's going to go upstairs first to try and find it, and it's not going to be there. So he's going to come down thinking, shit, I did leave it on the train. Maybe we shouldn't do this to him. I don't know. Let's leave it here. But is it that time already, eh? 9:20 or something?
Not even 9:15 yet. He's a bit early.
He's a bit early. And we were afraid maybe he wasn't going to make it here on time at all. With no alarm.
Yeah.
He's going upstairs to look for his phone.
Dun, dun, dun. You should hide the phone and have him hunt for it. I think we'll just leave it out.
Until tomorrow morning is 6:03 or whatever, when the next alarm goes off again or something. Or...
Yeah.
I was curious how he could actually forget it, because I thought he was paying, tapping for a Suica. I guess he's got a separate Suica, I guess, rather than on his phone. Because you can't get on the train system without your phone if you're tapping with your phone. So you can't forget it.
Yeah.
You can't leave it on the train, because then you can't get off the train. He worked hard yesterday, Boy, I forget how many parties we did. But,
More than enough.
we had scheduled parties and then drop-ins, And I went out to grab my lunch stuff. Just when I'm out, I guess they must have been coming in as I was going out. It turned out they wanted to drop in a party. And there was just enough. Kawai-san must have looked at the clock, figured if we do this now, we can do this before the 1 o'clock scheduled party. So that's his character. He said, sure, let's go, let's do this
right
and
now.
Some of the other staff says, not really scheduled enough time, got to do my lunch.
Yeah.
Kawai-san just says, go, let's do this. He just never, ever, ever says no. We have to talk about that too next December. If the same thing happens as last year's and there's, disbursements being made. Last year it was the same across the board. And I think we have to change that policy. Because there are people here who are doing more.
Above and beyond.
Yeah. It's not fair, I think. So let's talk about that
Extra
time.
So that's effort.
Yeah, the amount is there, and then how we disperse it, I think, has to be. Whatever, if not, we can't talk about it on the stream. What am I up to here?
Time-wise, or just looking at
just
the
the
design?
Okay. It's a messy part of the job, it's chippy. I gouged around first, and you can see the difference here.
Yeah.
This area is such a chippy mess, and then after a few minutes work, there it is, it becomes smooth. But the wood grain back and forth, spinning this block all the time around.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Did you say some carvers hold it in one place and turn themselves all around? Or is it usually this way?
No. When you're using the line, when you're doing line work, when you're cutting with the main knife carving lines, the best system is don't rotate the block.
Okay.
But when you're clearing like this, you have to rotate the block. I was going to let them tell me.
Oh, well, they never said anything.
Okay.
He looked so worried.
昨日帰り際持ってたの覚えてるから多分ね。
He just looked too worried. I couldn't torture him.
残念です。Kawai-san, come say hello.
Hello, morning.
Oh, wait, this way.
Morning.
Morning.
iPhone のこと話しましたでしょ、ストリームに。そう。
Yes.
僕、ちょうどシャワーに入った時、シャワーに入って浴びて、ブルルブルルしまった。
上にありました。
あゆみさんの机の上。
そうだ、これ最後、
え？
ズボンを脱いで、そこに置いて、それでパッて帰り際、電車の中で、ない。
I don't think they understand Japanese. Tell them the story.
So, wear the ズボン、pants で、それで、put the あゆみさん 's desk, and wear the new pants. So I forgot that.
Yeah.
I understand this. And I noticed my phone is gone in the train.
Too late.
It's too late. So,
Yeah, you're not paying for the train with the phone then. You're not using the phone like a Suica?
Use
card.
But you're not.
No function.
It's too old. Your iPhone is too old. Okay.
iPhone 6S.
Okay. What is it? iPhone 7? You can do that? I forget.
7.
Okay.
7.
What is he? The reason he's not paying for the train fees with his phone is still an iPhone 6, and it was from iPhone 7 that technical capability was built into it. So. But he doesn't apologize for disturbing my shower. How far should we push this? It's so cute. Joke.
You could have let it ring during the shower.
I didn't know what kind of alarm it was. What was I didn't even know what it was.
Yeah.
All I know is that I'm in there suddenly and now an alarm starts ringing.
Oh, it's like the fan that we don't normally turn on. Yeah. It looks like a freckles block so far.
Yeah, it is. So if you were carving, exactly. There's two of them like this. There's the tones. There's dots and freckles on the octopus skins, which would be another block. There were some of those on the key block too. So yeah, a bunch of these blocks have freckles all over them. So they're troublesome to carve, but whatever, part of the job.
Yeah.
Ome is in today. Ishigami-san's going to be there Monday and Tuesday, I think.
Okay, great.
Yasui-san's there Wednesday. Ishigami-san's. So for the first 4 days this week, they're all there.
Excellent.
I checked with them, so I was worried about if we have to close the website for Obon no deliveries or something.
Yeah.
She said altering this coming week. Now they're coming.
Okay.
The week after that, she didn't know,
Got it.
but we're okay for this week. So today's first one.
なんかみんなバラバラなんだけど、浅草寺って誰か
Can I have a look?
It's the afternoon. Or the later one?
なんでですね。Yeah. So Nola Novak is a 3-time. It's their third time. So they did Momotaro, and this one. So it's got to be Sensoji. So,
one person は first time.
so
まあ
it's okay. Whatever. So they got at 11 o'clock. There's a young girl coming. She wants to talk about a job. Yes. So her daughter's coming. Yeah, exactly. So there's a girl coming for an interview at 11 o'clock.
Oh, wow.
She's going to Sofia University. She's looking for a part-time job for the next couple of years.
Oh, cool.
So I told her to come around. She's going, oh, here's Doi-san.
Ohayou gozaimasu.
Good morning, Doi-san. Hello. Hey, Doi-san, come and say hello. You never say hello here. Come and check in.
Hello, how are you?
土井さんがいっぱいアイテム持ってきた。
今日お盆母親の2本なんで。ちょっと妹たちが実家に泊まりに来て追い出されちゃう。それが現実なんです。そのついでに実家に泊まって。
Doi-san's mother died a few months ago, so this is the first summer. It's the first Obon. I forget the word. It's not Hatsu Obon. There's a word for it. It's the first time.
Yeah.
Nibon, is it? I forget.
The game's all here. Yep.
Yeah, the
they
game's
are
all ready to go. So, exactly, ready to go. There should be maybe a quiet day. I'm not quite sure. The weekend was just crazy. Outside was just wall to wall people, wall to wall. And we got the usual crowd. We had our reservations. People know about us. We had people who came in because they've seen YouTube videos, and we had lots and lots of just walk-in people.
Yeah.
The cash register went nuts. We're going out of so many prints. You know, it's good news. It's good news.
It's good,
So
but also
today,
bad news.
being a Monday now, but also we're now moving into the week, this week and next week, of the week of Oba. So as I was telling the people on the stream, people in Japan quite frequently maybe go overseas in the summer, X% of them. Some other percent of them take their holidays within Japan, go to Okinawa or whatever. But there's a vast percentage who don't go anywhere. They're here in Tokyo. What do? And maybe you go to Odaiba one day, maybe you go to Kujukuri another day, and maybe you go to Asakusa one day. So it's a huge target point for people who are hanging around Tokyo looking for something to do, you know. And that's going to happen all through this week and next week. So I think we're going to be busy.
Need more printers.
We need more printers, yes. It's our mantra here. We need more printers.
But this new student you said is looking to do print parties.
Yeah, we're
shop
talking
staff, not
shop
a
staff.
printer.
No.
Okay.
No idea, whatever. She has no specific skills at the moment.
Okay.
Her mother said she speaks English quite well, and we'll just see how it goes.
Great.
So either we'll send her upstairs to talk to you, or you can be here when she comes, and the usual rules apply. Just speak in English, no Japanese.
Okay, yep.
Don't let her fall back. If she can't handle an English interview with us, then she can't do the job. So.
Yeah.
And there's no need to pressure her on it, but just simply have a simple conversation. Yeah, that's the biggest number one test. And then the other things I'm looking for: a cheerful personality. So.
Yeah.
And there's something else you sort of can't ask, but what I would like to ask of these people, what I would like to make into a rule is, "Kyodai nannin desu ka?" And if she says, "Hitori," then I'll say, "Just go away." Whatever. Okay. This is my personal prejudice. I'm saying this to you as an open conversation. I'm not going to say this to her today, but we've shared this before. I don't. How many kids in your family?
7.
7. And what happened when you were growing up? You learn to deal with people. You learn to relate with people. You don't always get your own way. You become a more flexible, good person. But when you're a single child, there's 2 of them in the company here, and they're the 2 people who I have the most difficulty with. That's just whatever. That's my experience over the years. People who grew up as a single child are more difficult as adults because they haven't had the corners knocked off them.
Yeah.
In a simple pop psychology analysis, whatever. Maybe the stream people can have a different viewpoint about this. What I was trying to say, the stream people didn't get it, was if I was trying to list all my preferences for hiring, I would rather hire a person from a larger family than a person who was a single child. This is what I'm basically saying. Because they're better suited to life, to winning and losing, and to negotiating, and to not always getting your own way. It's a prejudice. It's my personal prejudice.
Ken Hallett says, Dave, maybe it's your lot in life to help other people learn to play nice with each other.
I'm not quite sure how to. I am a manager here. One of my responsibilities is trying to assemble a team. And a team, it's not just the individual skills. Can this person do that job? It's how well everybody fits together and works together. Like it or not, that's part of what this is all about. And that's the most difficult part of it. Mm-hmm. Really big company, that becomes not so bad because 1, you can't control it anyway, and 2, you just shuffle people around if you've got some problems. We can't shuffle. We're too small. The team is the team. Osmo-san, did you see the last transaction last night? What time it was? Actually, what time was the last transaction? 9:49. What am I doing with my life? Dave, get a life.
I thought that's what you had Kawai-san and Koizumi-san for.
Well, we're talking about it, but the Kawai-san, he did double shift. Yes, he did the print parties in the shop, and then went upstairs to go printing. What am I going to do after he's printed? Say, by the way, come back into the shop and give me a couple of hours. You can't do that. And that's this girl this morning coming. And, you know, if she can come on board, that helps. She can do the mornings, and then Kawai-san can do evenings, whatever, you know. So we're on the route to building this bit by bit.
A new face, graceful butt, says, "Hi, I got 3 siblings. Hire me."
Well, I didn't say that was the only criteria. But in the criteria that I'm listing, more and more in my mind, this is bubbling up towards the top, you know. Well, what's my list? We've talked about it before. Number 1 is cheerful, right? Cheerful, happy
yes.
person. Somebody's
Speaks
enjoying
English
life.
conversationally,
For this job,
at
number two, they have to speak English and Japanese here
And
in this
Japanese,
job. And number 3, there really is no number 3. You know, maybe this is going to become number 3. You know, the larger your family is, the more points you score on David's individual scale for hiring. You know, I don't know. I'm half laughing and I'm half serious about this. I come from 3. I have a younger brother and a younger sister. So.
Someone with the name Abyss Series says, "Cheerful, I'm out."
Oh, then okay, goodbye.
See you later.
So, no, won't see you later.
Or won't see you later.
So, and again, I get, you know, these conversations come up, and it's because those things can't be trained. Printmaking, we can train printmaking. Yeah. Happiness, cheerfulness, enjoying other people, you can't train that. You're either it or you're not it. You can't train DNA.
What was the new one I haven't seen before? Love and Order, a new person. Number 3, bribe Dave. Don't think bribes work.
No, I don't think so. I mean,
no.
you know,
Not
what are
if you
gonna
don't
buy
have-
me
no.
with what? You know, Orangina?
This morning's stream brought to you by.
So- Am I nearly on this corner? No, I'm not going to be able to finish this. I think we should wrap this up, sir, because I'm not going to be able to finish this without rushing. And I know exactly what will happen. If I rush to try and finish this within today's stream, pop, we're going to lose one of these things.
Yeah.
So it's okay. Let me zoom out a bit. Where are we? It's Monday morning, right?
morning.
So we are at that time of the week again, Tuesday. I know I sometimes say I won't be here on Tuesday because I'm going to Ome. That won't be happening this time around. I'm going to be sitting right where I'm sitting now, having another stab at that beginning video.
All right.
I got my haircut on Friday. I'm ready to go. That part of it is taken. I don't have to sit here wiping my face every 10 seconds during the video.
Yeah.
So, I've had my rehearsal. I've rehearsed. I've made the whole thing with B-roll once over. So this is going to be now a second time through. So Tuesday's project for me is lock the front door. Just lock the front door. Keep people out of here.
Yeah.
And have another stab at the YouTube video.
Cool.
If it goes well, then it's going to go up Tuesday night. If it doesn't go well, I don't know what to say. Then I have a real problem.
Yeah.
So that will be happening. So there'll be no stream here tomorrow morning. Thank you again. No stream. Can we maybe get both of us together? There'll be, come on. So there'll be no. Where are we? So no stream tomorrow morning. I will be here doing video, and the streams will be back Wednesday morning, same time, same station, and I'll be, I guess, doing this. Perhaps there'll be a dosa stream because Ishikawa-san needs new paper on Friday. Which means that on either Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday, I have to do a dosa batch. So warning, there will be another glue stream coming up. It might be Wednesday, it might be Thursday. I don't really know.
We should let everyone else know. We're doing dosa, or you're doing dosa Wednesday, Thursday. Tell us what you need.
Plus minus, the visual part of the stream is boring because it's just David rubbing glue on pieces of paper. But the plus side is I can watch the chat and talk. And sometimes it works and we have a good conversation. And sometimes it's sort of whatever.
It's quiet.
Whatever, it doesn't matter. So it's a plus minus.
I mean, warn all the other printers so that they can get the batches done at the same time instead of one person at a time.
No, I think we've done it. Last week I did a major batch of sizing. I think at the moment everybody's happy.
Everyone's caught up? Great.
I'm not quite sure. Kubota-san, I don't know whether he's in or out. I better call him again. That's what's happening. So.
Back and forth.
Anyway, we got to get out of here, run our shop. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I'll be back here Wednesday morning, same time, same station. Thanks very much. Bye-bye. Cameron, chill it.